versus Silva, the rematch. Pride Fighting Championships High Octane.
The Pride middleweight world title will be up for grabs tonight when champion Wanderlei Silva takes on #1 contender Quinton Rampage Jackson in the main event of Pride Fighting Championships High Octane. Hello, along with El Guapo Boss Root and I'm Mauro Ranello, welcoming you to the Saitama Super Arena in Japan. Now, Boss, the main event is all about high stakes. Since defeating Japanese legend Kazushi Sakuraba back in November of 2001 at Championship Chaos for the title, Silva has proven to be an unstoppable force. Now, having said that, what game plan should Jackson employ in their rematch from last November's exciting final of the middleweight tournament if he wants to hand the Axe Murderer his first loss in a Pride ring and, more importantly, capture the coveted belt?
Oh, the coveted belt. Here we go. Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the belt where they're going to fight for, and here is the trophy where they're going to fight for. Now, in order for Quinton Jackson to win this belt, I would use my striking skills to close the distance. Once I get the body lock up or the clinch, go for the slam, the Quinton Rampage slam. That's what I want to do. On the ground, ground and pound. But you said it already. Wanderlei Silva, until now, is unstoppable. So what's going to happen tonight? It's going to be a hell of a fight.
Yes, that is right. Silva Jackson 2 with the title on the line should be a classic confrontation. Now, another matchup that has fans salivating features the long-awaited Pride debut of former UFC heavyweight champion Josh Barnett. And boss, he's not dipping his toes in to test the waters. He is diving into the deep end of the Pride talent pool by facing Mirko Cro Cop.
Yeah, this is a classic matchup. Although, you know, both of them know a little bit of all. I'm explaining it to you, okay? On one side, we have Mirko Cro Cop, very good in striking, good in takedown defense, and in submissions, he knows how to stay out of the submissions. On the other side, Josh Barnett, he's good in striking too. He's got phenomenal ground skills and good at takedowns. Can Josh take the fight to the ground? Can Mirko land that high kick? Again, fireworks for sure.
The very talented Dan Henderson returns to action against up-and-coming star Kazuhiro Nakamura. It's going to be American wrestler taking on Japanese judoka.
And we have another heavyweight fight featuring the American Heath Herring, and he's going to face Hirotaka Yokoi. And I've been talking to a lot of people lately here in the last few days, and many people think that this could be the sleeper match of the night.
It's another tremendous card put together by the #1 mixed martial arts organization in the world. Get ready for tap-outs and knockouts. It's real fights with real athletes. Pride Fighting Championships High Octane.
Back from Holland with a smile. How are you doing?
Vegas, actually. Back from Vegas.
Vegas. What have you been doing in Vegas? Well, what about?
Out in the sun. I was getting tired of the rain and the clouds.
With who have you been training in Las Vegas?
With Sergio Pena and Ricardo Perez at the Las Vegas Combat Club. So if y'all want to get a chance, come on down and check it out.
Now, Vegas is for me a very dark place because it's like the dark side is pulling to me. Do you experience that too or not?
Oh, boss, you know I'm immune. You know I'm immune. I've lived in Holland for 4 years. I can take any type of anything coming at me. So Vegas is no problem.
How has it been going, man, since last time?
It's been going good, actually. Little disappointed. But, you know, a little change of pace is one of the reasons I moved. I was ready to get out of Holland for a little bit, come back to the States, be closer to my daughter, be closer to my family. And so it's going really good, actually. I feel really good.
Back in the race, Yokoi, did you see his last fight?
I saw his last fight with Nogueira in the first round of the Grand Prix, and he gave Nogueira a really good fight. But we'll see what's going to happen. I'm a lot different fighter than Nogueira too, so it's hard to equate us on the same level.
Hirotaka Yokoi and Heath Herring hook up in a heavyweight bout here at High Octane. And boss, it's time for the world-famous Rune Report.
Hey, here we go. Yokoi, very heavy hands. He's unbelievable on the ground. And coming from Japan, and especially this person, truly has the samurai spirit. Now, Heath Herring is a very good striker himself, and he's improving in that division day by day, getting better and better. He's got a very good ground and pound, especially from the side mount, but I wonder what he's going to do after his last loss against Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira.
And speaking of the interim Pride heavyweight champion, both Yokoi and Herring were victims of that slick anaconda choke. Both face important tests tonight. It's Yokoi, it's Herring. It's coming up here at Pride Fighting Championships High Octane. All right, boss, what a way to kick off Pride 28 High Octane.
Yes, you can say that again. Heath Herring and Yokoi, wow.
Herring is 26, 6'4", 237 pounds with a record of 11-5 in Pride.
178センチ、102キロ。横井弘隆!
Yokoi is also 26, 5'11", 224 pounds with a record of 1-1 in Pride Fighting Championships. There we see some of the broadcasters in Japan, the very familiar faces of Hidehiko Yoshida and Pride executive Nobuhiko Takada. So again, both these fighters coming off losses to Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira in the Pride Heavyweight Tournament. Both of them were submitted by the Anaconda choke, but both now trying to get back on the winning track here. And again, a lot of people looking forward to this matchup, boss.
Oh, yes, including me. Oh, he's coming out.
Herring has moved back to the United States, now training out of the Las Vegas Combat Academy, and right away, Yokoi looking for the clinch.
He tries to keep him away from him, but Yokoi is pushing.
Has him along the ropes.
Yeah, Yokoi really needs to take down here. I think heat on his feet is better than Yokoi, although you never know, of course, you know. See, that's a looping left hand there. You know, if it connects, could be trouble.
Yokoi impressed a lot of people with his performance against Nogueira in the opening round of the heavyweight tournament. In fact, suffering his only loss in MMA following 10 straight victories. There it is! He connects with the right! And now, like a hunter smelling blood, goes immediately after Yokoi with a barrage of knees, boss.
Whoa! But it's going to be over. If he keeps going like this, no, Yokoi looks like he recoups. Oh, that was a good knee right there. And another one.
And the scouting report reads that Herring is most devastating on the mat with knees to the head, and that is exactly his modus operandi right now.
And it's
the
over.
referee has stopped this fight.
Break, time stop, break.
The referee is calling a timeout, maybe perhaps because of the fact that Herring was hitting him with knees to the back of the head.
Yes, you're
I thought
absolutely
that
right.
for a moment he had stopped the fight, but Herring is now pleading his case, saying, wait a minute, I didn't hit him with knees to the back of the head.
And look at Yokoi. Yokoi is pretty out there. He is still very drowsy. Oh, he falls back into his corner.
Look at Herring is now saying, look at Yokoi. There's some controversy here immediately to kick off Pride 28 High Octane. And
Right
we are
hand.
seeing a lot of action. There's a replay, boss.
Yeah, that was the right hand that set it all up. And now we dived in. And this was the old Heath Herring, what we talked about in the opening, the ground and pound. You know, knees for the side mount. Oh, this is very good in favor for Heath Herring here. He cannot be too hungry.
He wanted to put on a show for the fans. Yokoi now going for the trip takedown, puts in a weak knee of his own to the solar plexus of Herring. Yokoi now just really fighting to stay alive here.
Yeah, Heath Herring has to push himself away. He has to create distance. Get out of there. No clinching. This is very good, body shots, but you got to watch out for that hook trip that Yokoi does.
Now Herring creates a distance, looks for that left hand. And the fans here enjoying the action thus far. And Yokoi, give him credit.
Oh,
there's another
right.
right, and that brings him to his knees. There's another knee to the head. And again, it is to the back of the head, boss, but that is more because of the positioning of Yokoi.
And it's going to be over. It's over. Heath Herring won. Wow. Well, we can say he's back.
Texas Crazy Horse Heath Herring with a tremendous victory over Hirotaka Yokoi in absolutely dominating fashion at 1 minute and 55 seconds of the opening round. Heath Herring destroys Yokoi to kick off High Octane.
Wow. Yep, this is the old Heath Herring. If he continues like this again, wow. He's back, ladies and gentlemen, totally.
You know, boss, there were a lot of rumors that Heath Herring wasn't into the fight game anymore. A lot of talk that Heath Herring would maybe giving up the fight game. Forget about that. This guy still has a very long career ahead of him, and he just proved it with a very convincing victory over a very spirited fighter in Hirotaka Yokoi.
Yes, because Yokoi, in our book, he's one of the rising stars here in Japan. And don't worry about this loss. It doesn't mean anything. He will be back. And he will be back with a bang. And we got another replay here. What's going to happen? I think it was a right again that set it up. Boom, there we go, see? The right hook. And now it's all over again. The same, exactly same thing that he did after the first knockdown with that right straight. But now it was a right hook.
very tenacious attack by Heath Herring as we take a look at the replay again. That right cross just catches him on the side of the head, and Heath Herring all over him.
Yep.
The barrage of knees again, and finally the referee steps in and stops this fight at 1 minute and 55 seconds of the opening round. What a way to kick off Pride 28. Heath Herring recording the victory. And in the ring with them now, Core Hammers from Golden Glory, and Ricardo Perez and Sergio Pena from the Las Vegas Combat Academy. Heath Herring talked about needing the change of scenery, boss, and it looks like the home cooking of the United States is doing him well as a dominating victory here to kick off this Pride pay-per-view.
Look at the knees that he's raining down. You know, he's creating a lot of space. You can see that the replay. Lots of space to travel for the knee. That means the longer it travels, the harder it is.
And I've just been squirted by Heath Herring. He kept his promise, saying that he would celebrate by dousing me with his water bottle. So congratulations to Heath Herring. I wish it would have been champagne or beer at least, but it's good old-fashioned H2O. And again, he definitely will salute the Las Vegas Combat Academy, Ricardo Perez and Sergio Pena, obviously helping him out as Heath Herring recording a big win here at High Octane.
Warning, these knockouts are hardcore. Knockout. After knockout. After knockout. For the first time ever, Pride Fighting Championships has assembled the best knockouts from the world's best fighters. Pride Fighting Championships Hardcore Knockouts, Volume 1. Premiering December 10th on pay-per-view.
The last time we saw Ricardo Arona in action, he was on the receiving end of one of the most devastating power bomb slams in the history of mixed martial arts. It cost him a shot at Pride's middleweight title. So tonight, he wants to, well, get back in the title hunt as he takes on a debuting fighter from Russia in Sergey Ignatiev. Needless to say, boss, not much is known about the fighter from Russia.
You're absolutely right. The only thing we know is Brazilian top team and the Russian top team. And also, I know another little thing, and that's Arona. He is phenomenal on the ground. For the rest, this fight is a big question mark to me.
All right, we're going to find out if Arona can avenge his only loss in Pride Fighting Championships, and we're going to find out right now. All right, boss. We see the return of Ricardo Arona in this match.
Yep, and that's going to be against this person, Sergey Ignatiev.
And Ignatiev is 33, 5'9", 222 pounds, making his debut in Pride. Arona is 26, 5'11", 207 pounds, 3-1 in Pride Fighting Championships. The loss, as we look at Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira sitting ringside here in Pride Fighting Championships High Octane. The loss Arona suffered was, well, the devastating power bomb slam at the hands of Quinton Jackson, which KO'd him at Critical Countdown in June and cost him the shot at Vanderlei Silva's middleweight title, which of course is on the line tonight in the main event against Jackson. Of course, Arona claims the headbutt at the end of the slam is what knocked him out, and we'll talk about that if we have a chance to during this fight. But Ignatiev, boss, we don't know too much about this fighter from Russia.
No, what we do know, he's coming from a very good camp, so that's one thing for sure. Oh, look at that nice high kick there. It missed, but it means he has the capability to kick you in the head.
Of course, Arona, a great pedigree from the Brazilian top team. Many accomplishments in his storied career. Winner of the 2001 Abu Dhabi Submission Wrestling Absolute and 2001 under 98 kilogram class division championships. Also the current super fight champion at ADCC will take on Dean Lister at the 2005 championships. A seasoned grappler, works the ground like a technician, but right now is content to engage in a stand-up with Ignatiev.
That was a good right low kick there from Arona.
Now Ignatiev comes at him, but there's a nice takedown by Arona.
right away.
Instantly to the, well,
Yeah,
side.
almost.
Oh, no, he has him in the, yeah, there he is. Looking for the side control.
But Ignatieff knows that it's not a good thing to let Arona be in, so he is desperately going there. And it's working. It's working. He's going to get him in the guard. It's a half butterfly guard right now. There's the hole. Let me see. I cannot
I think
see
it's
the other
butterfly
end.
guard right now.
Yeah, both legs. He's going to try to pass it. As you can see. Oh. Now he's got the guard. But knowing Arona, he probably will escape this.
Wide base by Arona right now, and you're right, boss, just raining down those shots. But Ignatieff doing the right thing as well, trying to close the distance. But there's Arona with those devastating right hands. Oh, nice strikes. Nice body shot.
That's what I want to see. Oh, and another one. Good job here by Arona. Very good.
Arona's 8-2 in MMA. The one loss to Jackson, as we mentioned. The other loss was to Fyodor Emelianenko in a rings event in 2000. So he's had a great track record.
Yeah, you saw that Ignatieff going for an armbar, but I don't think that's going to happen here with Arona.
Oh, man, really, those shots right to the abdomen.
Oh, this is what we want to have. Look at this.
To the hooks.
How fast
Rear
he
mount.
stepped it in.
Beautiful. Fluid motion there by Arona. Now does he have both hooks in? No, he has a one hook. And it's a high mount here, boss.
Very high, yeah. Very high back mount. See what he can do with it. Ignatieff is doing a good one as this. I've never seen that. Grabbing the leg, he's going to put it. Wow, very smart. That is nice. Yeah, he's going to look for a submission. It's going to be difficult with the gloves.
Of course,
he's going to go for armbar.
Him, but 15 pounds actually looking for the Nura here, I think.
No, I think he's going to go straight down. Not anymore. I thought an armbar from the top. Which is a very dangerous thing to do because you might lose your position if you do go for that.
Nice heel strike to the abdomen.
And see, he stays on his back. Whatever Ignatieff is doing, he stays on his back.
Great balance, great positioning being exhibited by Arona. Already some severe discoloring on the thigh, the left thigh of Ignatieff. And look at Arona, boss, just, moving like water. And again, great sense of ring presence and great positioning by Arona. Staying in the guard now, and it looks like the referee's going to move them back to the center of the ring, boss.
Yep. The stop, don't move rule in the Pride Fighting Championships. If you're too close to the ropes, they will restart you in the center of the ring. In the same position, of course. Arona is complaining there. He said, my arm wasn't caught. But yeah, now it is.
Underhook. Now Arona very tenacious while in Ignatieff's guard. Ignatieff, meanwhile, scrambling underneath, trying to just stave off this onslaught by Arona. Nice. Really mixing it up here well. Arona came in tremendous shape, boss. Thick 6% body fat, if you can believe it.
Yeah, he looks like it. He's always in a phenomenal shape. He's looking for the side mount here, and it looks like he can have it. Look at that leg of Ignatieff. So the half guard now. No, he's really working it. Ignatieff won't let him. He says, no, 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 no.
Now he's reaching far side there.
He's going for maybe armbar, reverse figure four or figure four, which you can apply from a half guard if you do it the right way.
There's looking for the sweep as Ignatieff. He gives him his back instead, and very precarious position here when you're in the ring against the likes of Arona. Possibly susceptible to a rear naked choke here as he just flattens him out now, boss. Halfway through round one. Continuing to strike with the left hand as Arona now with the right as well. And Ignatieff so far has been dominated by Ricardo Arona here in round one, boss.
Yep, getting the hooks off is pretty easy actually in this position. The only thing that Ignatieff has to do is stretch one leg and then both hooks will flip out. One hook actually will stay in, but you can turn and reverse them very easy then.
We were told that Ignatieff has a Sambo and Judo background. Of course, Arona with the BJJ background, member of the highly touted Brazilian top team. Co-founder Mario Sperry in his corner. What can Ignatieff do right now, boss, from this position with a guy like Arona on his back?
Yeah, not a lot, not a lot. What he's doing is right. He's defending for his life.
And he's not really defending well right now. 4 minutes remaining in round one. Will Ignatieff be able to survive the steady attack of Ricardo Arona? Now he's able to turn it. Arona looking for the armbar. Oh, nice heel strike there from the bottom. Now it's Ignatieff inside the open guard of Ricardo Arona, and the fans applauding here at Saitama Super Arena. A huge crowd in attendance for Pride 28.
Yeah, but I don't know why they applaud, because Arona is very good from having somebody in his guard.
And maybe that's why they're applauding, just the fact that Ignatieff has been able to survive thus far. You know, the Japanese crowd, very educated, very respectful.
You see, going for leg locks in that kind of position is a very dangerous thing to do. You might lose position, as you can see right here.
But Sambo is his background, so perhaps he'll try it.
Yeah,
just
but
because
Sambo also, in Sambo you wear a gi. You have a long pants, and the legs, you know, you cannot pull it out that easy. If you wear no gi, you know, it's sweaty, you pull out a leg lock very easy.
All right, they're back standing. There's another kick delivered by Arona. We haven't seen much in the way of the stand-up game from Ignatieff. But then again, it has been virtually one-sided so far. Again, Ricardo Arona with plenty to prove, he says. He feels he earned a moral victory against Quinton Jackson in their fight at Critical Countdown, even though he was the victim of that devastating powerbomb slam where he lost the #1 contendership to Jackson. He thought until that, oh, nice overhand right. And a knee!
Oh, it's the head. This could be the end.
Wow, a nice overhand right, followed that up with a beautiful knee to the head, and Arona back in familiar territory here.
Oh, he jumps into the mount. Now it's trouble. We got 2 minutes left in round number one.
And this is trouble right now because he has the full mount, top position now by Arona, and he could continue to rain down those strikes, boss. Look at him.
Yeah, and he's got perfect balance too, you know, so.
And he gets his back now.
Yep,
And
the
there's
choke.
a rear naked choke.
It could be under. Let me see.
He's looking to slip in the rear naked choke, and you know, boss, what Ignatieff has to do here is just, well, actually, he hasn't even cinched it in, does he?
No, he haven't, no, maybe now, no. What Arona also can do is go around his jaw and then just pull his Ignatieff's jaw in his own throat. It's a good thing to do too. See,
It looks like he's about to tap, and he does. Ricardo Arona looks very impressive, and Arona submits Sergey Ignatieff with a rear naked choke at 8 minutes and 37 seconds of round one. Ricardo, the Brazilian Tiger Arona, defeats Sergey Ignatieff.
Yep, and I think that it was the thing that I said. I think he pulled his own jaw in his throat. I don't think that his arm was actually underneath the jaw. Let's see if we can see it in the replay. And Arona was receiving a yellow card, and that probably is because he was holding the choke on too long.
Until after, even after the bell. I think, like I say, Arona still very angry, boss, for what transpired at Critical Countdown, and really wanting to send a message saying, you know what, I should be the #1 contender, and I'm going to prove it to you guys tonight.
Yeah, and he didn't want to take a risk. He had to choke, and even though they were tapping, he said, okay, I'm not going to let this go because otherwise they're going to let me lose again.
Yeah. And now he's showing some sportsmanship, though, going over and embracing his opponent. Let's go to the replay, boss, and see if you can see it here.
Let's see if it goes underneath. Now he's going to sink it in first with his left, I believe. And then he's going to reverse it with the right. Let me see. Yeah, we can't see it from here. There's the armbar attempt, but it didn't work. Pulled right away out. Nice, those kicks are very good. He did that to Quinton Rampage Jackson too. See, now he's got the choke in, but we don't really know if it's underneath the jaw or not. You see, and he's tapping and tapping. If it is it under this one, no, I don't think it's under. I really believe it's the choke that I said with the own jaw. It's a lot of power. As you can see, Arona is built as a machine. He has got a lot of power in him.
Arona chokes out Ignatieff, remains a top contender for the Pride World Middleweight Championship. Arona victorious here at Pride Fighting Championships High Octane.
Real fights.
Here we go. Brings him to the floor. There's a kick and it's over.
Real athletes.
Look at the kick.
Pride Fighting Championships Bushido 5. See the fights that everyone's talking about. From devastating kicks, hard-hitting slams, to brutal knockouts. These warriors are once again ready for battle. The fight spirit is alive in Bushido 5. Premiering November 19th on pay-per-view.
Tonight you take on Alexander Emelianenko. I'm sure you are very familiar with the last name Emelianenko, his brother, the Pride Heavyweight Champion. Usually he dwarfs his opponents. He's a big boy, but you're not known as the Colossus for nothing. How do you feel you match up with your opponent tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched a lot of DVDs of him. He's very good at takedowns. He's, like you say, he's a big, strong guy, but so am I. There's a lot to him, but then again, there's a lot to me, so I think it's going to be a hell of a fight.
What are your strengths as a fighter?
I'm very strong. I cross-train everything. So jiu-jitsu, wrestling, stand-up fighting. I'd say my biggest strength is the fact I won't give up. I have a lot of heart, and I think you'll see that. Well, I know you'll see that.
And if you had your druthers, where would you see this fight going? What kind of a fight do you want to see happen between you and Emelianenko?
One where I win.
Do you prefer it standing? Do you want to go to the ground with him? How do you want this to pan out?
Like I say, I cross-train, but I prefer it standing. But like I say, I'm ready for anything, so we'll see what happens.
Knockout or submission?
Knockout.
Okay, it's time to supersize the action here in Pride Fighting Championships as Alexander Emelianenko of Russia, fresh off that knockout loss to Mirko Krokop, takes on another fighter making his debut here tonight in James the Colossus Thompson of England. And they don't call him Colossus for nothing, boss. This guy is a big boy.
Big boy, 6'1". He's a brawler. He's very strong, 265 pounds. His opponent is in the same weight class. Alexander, though, he has 4 fights here at the Pride Fighting Championship, so I think maybe he has a little bit of the edge because he's fighting in front of a big crowd. And on top of that, he's the brother of Fedor Emelianenko. This fight is going to be a brawl.
It promises to be a good old-fashioned slugfest as Thompson wants to make a splash and Emelianenko is looking to get back on the winning track. All the way from England, boss, it's James the Colossus Thompson. And when you see this guy, you'll know why they call him the Colossus. 6'4", 264 pounds, making his debut in Pride Fighting Championships.
Yeah, he looks big, strong, relaxed, very nice, good personality.
He's a well-put-together physical specimen, no doubt about that.
Yeah, this fight, this is going to be 2 guys brawling it out. You watch.
He's competed mainly in the now-defunct Ultimate Combat Organization in England. In his last fight, he beat former UFC champion Dan the Beast Severin at UC 11, where he actually became the UC World Champion. And that was a fight actually that gained him, well, notice here in Pride. And he has made his way to Japan. And yeah, you're right. Tonight he faces another very big challenge against Alexander Emelianenko. He's a knockout specialist, possesses plenty of power. He was a freestyle wrestler one time, ranked number 2 in Britain in 2002. But don't think he's just all brawn and no brains. Here's a guy who loves to read about psychology, Bob.
All right, I won't go into that then.
Also spent some time in Thailand earlier this year working on his Muay Thai skills, so we welcome James the Colossus Thompson to Pride Fighting Championships.
赤コーナーよりエメリアエンコアレキサンダー選手入場です。
And here is my song again, Mauro. I love this song so much. One of the best intro songs I know.
Yes, it is the piece of music that gives Boss Rutan goosebumps every time he hears it. And of course, it will welcome Alexander Emelianenko, the younger but not the little brother of the Pride Heavyweight Champion Fyodor Emelianenko, who is coming off the loss to Mirko Krokop, but he's also coming off a wedding, his new bride, Marina, and tonight he will take on James the Colossus Thompson. He's been working on his striking and stamina. His training regimen includes weightlifting, running, boxing, and kickboxing. And earlier this month in his native Russia, he defeated UFC and Pride veteran Carlos Bayedo via decision at an M1 event. And when we talked about his strategy for this fight, he says he'll approach this match as he does all others. So, the Sambo technician with the Red Devil Fight Club, I'm sure Boss will be looking to knock his opponent out. You see his brother, the Pride Heavyweight Champion, behind him. And there you see his opponent, who is not intimidated about meeting Alexander Emelianenko tonight.
Wow. Yeah, listen, hey, I have no words. I want to see this. I want to hear the bell. Because again, this is going to be a brawl. I really don't think this is going to pass round number 1. I actually think it's going to be within 5 minutes because they're going to clash.
A lot of people believe this match will end in a knockout. And again, if you want to see the best knockouts in Pride's history, join us December 10th for Hardcore Knockouts Volume 1. For the first time ever, Pride Fighting Championships brings you its best knockouts. It's Hardcore Knockouts Volume 1 on pay-per-view, December 10th.
本日の第4試合を行います。青コーナー196センチ、119.5キロ、ジェームス
Thompson is 25, 6'4", 264 pounds. This is his debut in Pride.
Whoa, look at him. And he's bored. He flips his eyes up. He goes like, oh, whatever.
Emelianenko is 23, 6'5", 264 pounds, 2-1 in Pride Fighting Championships. And there is Fyodor Emelianenko in the corner of his brother, and here is the stare down, and you're right, boss. Look at the contrasting styles. Thompson, very intense. Emelianenko, just another day at the office.
Yeah. You know, James Thompson is a debt collector. And, you know, by looking at him, you know right away, yeah, that's true.
He's a debt collector. He wants to collect a victory here tonight, while, again, Emelianenko doesn't look too concerned thus far. And here we go. And Thompson right away pulls into Emelianenko like a house on fire, and this is a slugfest.
I told you.
And Thompson is rocked by Emelianenko. And rocked big time. And it's over. And Thompson started off quickly, but Emelianenko, calm, cool, and collected, says, thanks, but you're knocked out, my friend.
This has to be the shortest fight in Pride history. Give it to me, Mauro.
An even dozen seconds, and Alexander Emelianenko, yeah, it was just a regular day at the office. Doesn't even break a sweat. James Thompson goes down in 12 seconds. His debut, very, very short.
Now, it wasn't beautiful, but it was what I said. It was a brawl. Only the bro. Yeah,
Look at Fyodor Emelianenko. We hardly ever see these guys smile. Fyodor Emelianenko has an ear-to-ear grin on his face, and my goodness, let's take a look at the entire fight, shall we, boss?
Yeah, hopefully in slow motion, so we stretch it a little bit more.
Let's go to the replay first, and like a bull in a china shop, James the Colossus Thompson going crazy here. Go for it, boss.
Wow! He saw the takedown, the trip, and now they're just clashing it out. And let's see what it was. Oh, it was the right hook. It was the right hook. Went down. Oh, yeah, he was gone before that. The right hook did how you said it was the pre-up for all the rest that he gave. Look at this. It's not pretty, like I said, but it's effective. And now he comes. Bam! No. Oh, that left was really the one that sent him to the canvas. And again, let's see it. Whoa. Always keep your eyes open, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we won't be giving it an award for the prettiest knockout of the year, but we can tell you that maybe for volume 2 of Hardcore Knockouts, it may make the cut. But I definitely want to remind you that Hardcore Knockouts Volume 1 will be airing December 10th on pay-per-view. And there is the Pride Heavyweight Champion, Fyodor Emelianenko. Alexander Emelianenko with a crunching knockout of this man. James Thompson picks up the win at Pride 28 High Octane.
What's next? What do you think is next for Alexander Emelianenko? What would you think? A good matchup, maybe the winner. No, not the winner. Like, imagine that Josh Barnett would win. That would be a great fight.
Well, the Demolition Man has made his way back to Pride Fighting Championships, and Alistair Overeem, you're coming off, your last appearance was in the 2003 middleweight tournament, a loss to Chuck Liddell of the UFC. How has the past 12 months been for you?
Oh, I've been training a lot. Didn't have many fights because of some injuries, and training a lot, improving my skills, and I'm just anxious to get back in there and show the people what I got.
Now you're taking on Hiromitsu Kanehara, who was a Japanese striker. In his last outing, he was, a human punching bag for Mirko Krokop here in Pride. But you and him match up. I know that you love to strike as well, coming from Holland, who are, the country's known for their strikers. What added incentive do you have, knowing that he was the man who knocked out your brother Valentine 4 years ago? Are you using that for added incentive going into this fight tonight?
I'm going to use everything to add intensive to the fight, and I saw the fight with him in Krokop. It lasted for 10 minutes. I think I'm gonna do it in 3 minutes.
Next up, we have Hiromitsu Kanehara taking on Alistair Overeem. Now, it's the Demolition Man Overeem, boss, taking on the Smiling Killer. And it's an interesting nickname for Kanehara, boss, because the last time we saw him in action was against Mirko Krokop. And he wasn't exactly the Smiling Killer, although he was smiling while being killed, so to speak.
Yeah, one thing we know about Kanehara, he can take a beating. That's one thing for sure. Now, Alistair is coming off a loss here at the Pride Fighting Championships against Chuck Liddell. That was his only loss he had. But he has been fighting in between. 3 fights, 3 wins. I think the Demolition Man is here to come back.
Yeah, and Overeem does have added incentive going into tonight's fight because in 2000, Kanehara knocked out his brother Valentine. So we'll find out what happens as Overeem takes on Kanehara. That's coming up.
right, the last time we saw Alistair Demolition Man Overeem was in the first round of the Pride middleweight tournament. Many people call it the most exciting tournament in mixed martial arts history. He gave the UFC's Iceman Chuck Liddell a heck of a fight, but in the end he was knocked out. But Overeem has spent the last year actually traveling the world. He has traveled to Brazil, parts of Canada, including Montreal and Toronto, has been to New York, the Czech Republic, and Switzerland, and has finally found his way back to Japan for his matchup tonight against Hiromitsu Kanehara.
And there he is, from Holland with love. He's wearing the orange color, which is the Dutch color, and of course he's coming in with a big sledgehammer. Looking really relaxed. In his corner is going to be Lucien Carbine. He's been training with him a lot. So that means we're going to see, again, a lot of flying knees from Alistair Overeem.
One of the most physically gifted fighters in MMA and a very impressive record to boot. 21 wins, only 3 losses. And, boss, not very shy in giving us a prediction about the fight tonight. He predicts a knockout in 3 minutes or less.
Yep, hey, and he has the capability for it. What we do know of his opponent is that he can take a beating. But Alistair, if he plays his cards right and he goes for the body with the